This is for Coach Williams. And Roy, did you want to go ahead and give a brief opening statement?
Okay. We're happy with the outcome. I think the last 4 or 5 minutes of the first half, we got much more active defensively. We got 6 straight stops, and we're able to score on a couple of those. And up until that last 5 or 6 minutes, I was not pleased at all with the way we had played in the first half, but I thought that was big for us. Second half, we did a much better job of getting stops, not like the 6 in a row that we got at the end of the first half, but we did get more consistent. And then we got better shots. You shoot 62% in the second half. That was good. The biggest problem, you just about saw a guy fall right on his face right there. We had a difficult time keeping Jamel and Michael off the free throw line. They shot 18 free throws, 17 free throws between the two of them. But I did think the second half, shooting 61.5% and doing a better job of rebounding and moving better on the offensive end was what it was. And I'll say this, we got a big lift from our bench too.
Questions, and please remember to identify yourself. Go here in the second row in the front.
Dana O'Neill at the ESPN. Roy, that end of that first half and that energy that the team showed defensively, how critical is that to sustain at this time of the year, obviously, when you're getting towards that survive and advance period of the thing?
Well, we feel like we've gotten better defensively as the year goes along, but the intensity that we had there in that stretch was really important. There's no question about that. I'd like to see that for 40 minutes, but that's pretty hard. But I do think that basically got us back in the basketball game. And, again, I'd go back that Theo with his pass and his defense, and Kenny Williams can really slide his feet. He's been really good for us defensively all year. He just hadn't been able to throw it in the ocean, and he made his shot too. But that was big for us. But I'd like to have those kind of moments a lot.
Second row on the left.
Pitt had countered the energy that you showed at the end of the first half. They tied the game back up in the second half. In fact, Michael Young had a spin move to make it 57-55, but after that, you completely took over the game and did it with a couple of different lineups. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts about the lineups, and did you have a premonition that Kenny Williams would not only slide his feet but get a big assist and hit his first three-point shot? Well, I had enough premonition to put him in the game, I guess, is the reason it was there. But I think they got it at one, and Bob, I'm not sure if it was exactly what you're talking about, but one time the score was tied, and Marcus made a big three, and then we go on a 9-0 run. So I'm not sure exactly if that was when it was 57-55. But you can ask these guys. Kenny defensively is really good, really slides his feet, and so it was important to I wanted somebody in there. We'd had some guys that had been in the game for a long time. I wanted to get some guys some rest, and at the same time wasn't necessarily pleased about the way things were going. But I think our depth was huge, and I'm looking, Theo Pinson, if I'm on the right line, he has 7 assists. And Kenny, we're not saying that Kenny's going to guard Jamel Artis like that the whole game, but he never got to the basket against him about 3 straight possessions, and I think that was big for us.
Right here in the right.
Hey, Roy, Herbis on radio, Chris Idell. How you doing? Talk about the end of the first half, getting on that roll. The 6-0 run to end that first half. What does that mean for you guys to turn around in the second half?
Well, it made me not go crazy as I was going to go at halftime, that's for sure. But we did stop them on 6 straight possessions, and Joel came up with 1 steal and took it all the way down. And in the first half, Joel Berry was our offense. There's no question about that. But that's a pretty impressive line: 7 for 8 from the floor, 4 for 4 from the line, 4 steals. Bryce's 5 blocks. So all those things really do help you defensively, but there's no question. It's about the 3rd or 4th time I've said it, but that last few minutes before the first half was big, and we could talk about what we did during that moment and not what we had failed to do, and that was going to be most of the talk until that point.
On the left, over by the wall.
Brett Friedlander, Wilmington Star News. This is for Brice. I know you've probably heard the 2009 story that he told you at halftime a few times. How many times have you heard that as a senior? And how did that resonate when he said, that to be a good team, to be a Final Four team, you've got to be better defensively like that 09 team did?
Well, that's the biggest thing for us. He's been saying that all year. And no, I cannot count the number of times that he's told us that story. And, nor do I want to think about it because,
Be careful. I'm still coaching.
I understand that, but at the same time, it's a great story for him to tell us. He does see some similarities in the teams. It's just, we just got to be able to lock down like we did in the last 5 minutes of the first half.
Steve Warner from the AP. Joel, what was the key of you guys shooting so well, jump shots particularly, that basically the entire game?
We were able to get the ball inside. Bryce gave us a big lift. Isaiah came in and gave us a big lift. So just having that balance of the inside, outside of attack, that helped us out a lot. And, when Bryce is, scoring in the post like that, that helps us out a lot. And in the second half, I think we got better movement than we did in the first half. So that's a big key.
Okay, over on the left by the press table.
All right. So you're going to turn around and play the winner of this next game, 24 hours from now. You've done a million of those quick preps in your career. What all goes into that, and what's the difference between a good one and a bad one?
The difference between a good one and a bad one is how you play the next day. Did something work or it didn't work. But we realized it's going to be a quick turnaround. We played Notre Dame once. We lost. We played Duke twice and had two great games and went down to the end in both times. We split with them. But we're going to allow the guys to enjoy this for 3 or 4 hours. And after the game's over with, we'll get together tonight and talk and do our preparation for that team that we're getting ready to play. There's not a lot you can do, but we do know these teams because we've seen them play all season long. It's not as bad as it is. You're in one of those early season tournaments where you don't know anything about the guys, but we'll try to give them the important things, the 3 or 4 most important things, and let it go at that. I don't think we can give them 25, and then try to make sure that we allow them to get their rest tonight and hopefully get their legs back so they can do it physically again tomorrow.
Right here, second row.
Question for the players. Pitt's been the hottest offensive rebounding team in the league of late, along with you guys. Even though you won the game in Chapel Hill easily, they really got on the offensive glass against you. I think you'd agree. How did you limit their second shots? And Bryce's question for you and Joel, because guards were a factor in keeping them off the glass today. How'd you do it?
Well, that was the biggest emphasis for us this entire time. It's just we got to remember that they out-rebounded us 19-1 in the offensive rebound category at home, and we still were able to win that game, but we can't allow teams to do that because some teams can be able to score off of those, and we'll probably lose in a situation like that. But that's just the biggest thing we were just talking about. We wanted to be able to just box out and be able to get all the rebounds and not allow them to get second chance points.
Joel?
As a guard, I just tried to get in there and help them out because, they're boxing out and they're boxing out and trying to get the big man out of there. So sometimes if we can sneak in there and get a rebound, that helps them out. And that was, like you said, that was our biggest emphasis. And, that's what we did today. And, they got a couple of offensive rebounds, but majority of the time, we were able to box them out and get a defensive rebound and get out on the break.
Let's be straight and make sure I understand. Joel did not get any rebounds. I
tried.
But he did get in and try to box out some bigger guys. He got 7 rebounds, I think, in our last game, but he had 0 tonight.
On the left, over here by the wall.
Corey Smith, North State Journal. Coach, I wanted to ask you about the unbalanced scheduling this year. I know it kind of benefited you guys having the easiest strength of schedule in the ACC this year. Do you feel like it benefited you at all getting the #1 seed going into this tournament?
It depends on how you evaluate that. You know what we didn't have the benefit of for somebody to make us say that we had the easy schedule? We didn't get to play North Carolina. In the ACC, you get to play everybody. Some of them 2, some of them 1. Past couple of years, I've always said the greatest thing would be play everybody twice, but we don't do that. But I can let a Carolina fan make that story up, and it won't be that we have the easiest schedule in the country, or in the conference. All right, would you guys agree that Louisville would probably make the tournament? We played at Louisville. Would you agree that Notre Dame's going to make the tournament? We played at Notre Dame. Would you agree that Virginia's going to make the tournament? We played at Virginia. Would you agree that that Duke's going to make the tournament? We played them twice. Northern Iowa's already in the tournament. And do you think Texas will make the tournament? Let a North Carolina guy make that philosophy up.
Any more questions?
Did I solve that one, Michael?
You sure did, Coach.
Let's go watch the other game, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach.